fans not happy with that. In the Belfast end, Schwartz. Sideroff tries to make way to the centre! The stab in from Deven Sideroff adds a third goal for the Clan!
Welcome to edition of Clan Chat, joined by the Glasgow Clan's captain, Deven Sideroff. And Deven, thanks for taking the time to join us. I know you guys have been busy the past few days as we get ready for a big doubleheader home weekend.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure to be on here, Mer.
I'm wondering if you've recovered from both the twerking and the limbo, because we just want to pay a little bit of tribute to the OSC, a really good 10-year anniversary event this past Sunday, and Roddy and everyone at the OSC does such a great job. And I don't know if you kind of knew ahead of time what it was all about. Did you enjoy yourself? There was 200 fans in the ballroom there. It was a lovely event.
Yeah, it was a good event. Roddy shows up for those events. It was good to see him there, but I seen that they were gonna pull us onto stage and do something there, so I tried to sneak out quickly. But as soon as I did that, I heard my name called and I came back in. So no, we did not sign up for that, but we had a good laugh about it.
You're all good sports, and the OSC does such a great job around the club, and certainly the compression boots this year and in the past, long before you or I were on the scene, they've been a big part of the club. A big part of the club certainly is Matt Keith, former NHLer, former club legend, let's be honest, for the Glasgow Clan, Braehead, I guess, back then. But did you enjoy meeting the captain, and did he have any advice for you? Because it was nice to see the OSC bring Matt Keith over and his family.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet him, and for him to say that these were some of his best years of hockey throughout his career, and he has a great career. So with that being said, I'm excited to be here right now. It has been fun for me too. And it's good to meet a previous captain of this club, because it is such an established thing to do. Yeah, he's a nice guy, nice to meet. He likes to have fun too. So he said the city's fun, the team's great. It always has been. General manager down. So, and he's seen Red, he's been around Red, so he told some stories too. So yeah, it's good to meet him.
And let's be honest, I think you and I have talked in the hallway a couple of times outside the locker room or whatever. Certainly, we weren't happy about going out of the cup. Certainly not happy about being in eighth right now. But it's important for, I think, us all to remember when someone like Matt Keith tells you, despite the NHL and all the stuff, like some of his best years of hockey were here because of the organization and the people. Yeah, we're not happy, but when someone says that, it puts things into a little bit of perspective as well.
Yeah, it does for sure. It makes you want to make a really good hockey team out of this place, because if you're having fun and you're enjoying it here and your family's enjoying it here, like he said, well, why wouldn't we build a club that we want to get behind and be at the top of the tables and be winning every night and be doing that for our fans and what they do for us. So we gotta bring it back for them.
So let's touch on it a little bit, Sid. I mean, obviously Nottingham is in a real good position right now. They're on a heater, but probably not the effort we would have expected. Every game before that cup knockout or elimination game, I think was a 1-goal game, and maybe a couple of 3-1 games with an empty net goal, but it was really close with Nottingham. I mean, what was the mood going into that Panthers game? And sort of, I'm sure it was a quiet bus ride afterwards as well.
Yeah, it definitely was. We prepared really well for that game, I thought. Everybody was excited. We had high energy. We got there a day early. We were all excited to be there. Everybody was pumped up, and then we came out a little flat, and what happened in the game. So yeah, it was kind of a tough pill to swallow. But yeah, looking back on it, we're still kind of sour. So
yeah, and it's tough because I think here's a point for you. I know that sometimes with the social media world we live in and all that, everyone has an opinion, and rightfully so. If you pay for your ticket, you can say what you want. But the point is, if you think as someone who works in the back room or someone sitting in the stands as a season ticket holder or someone at their first game is upset, imagine how upset the players are by not getting through to the next round. So was it a message from the captain, the leadership after the game that, like, remember this feeling, it sucks because this isn't where we want to be? Is it one of those?
Yeah, I mean, for me, for the first time playing in the Challenge Cup series, that's a feeling that I got right away, and expressing that to the rest of the team. I hope that everybody else who this is the first time in their situation being there too, that it's something that we all don't want to feel again. And if we're trying to build something for years to come here, that's something that we don't want to feel again. Yeah.
And is it something, because look, you've played in the American Hockey League, you've played in Europe. This is your first time in the EIHL. But is it something that you can use as motivation? Because maybe, it's one of those ones where sometimes a bad loss on an important game can galvanize a team. We still have 20 odd games left in the league. So there's a lot of runway here to improve our situation and get ready for a playoff run, hopefully.
Yeah, well, that loss kind of felt like a playoff loss. So by getting that over with in the middle of the season is kind of something that you can lean on in the playoffs. You've already felt the loss. That means more than any regular season game. So if you take that feeling into playoffs, knowing you don't want to feel that way again, it could be an extra motivator for sure.
And again, I want to reiterate, I know how much the guys in the room want to win. I know how much Corey wanted to win, especially like going back to Nottingham. He would have wanted that to be a really galvanizing moment, but it still can be. And that's sort of, you have to look at things in a positive light. You turn your attention to league now and sort of working your way up, maybe getting a better position in the table for the quarterfinals, hopefully. But the loss in Dundee certainly raised frustration in that third period. And is it a key as a captain to kind of saying to the guys, we're going to have to be disciplined. We know sometimes the calls aren't going to go our way, especially a tough place to go in Dundee, it seems, this year to go to the DIA. So is it also a learning experience heading down the stretch now that we're going to have to keep our heads?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're a physical team, so there's a fine line where you want to say something as a leader, but then again, you don't, because you want the team to play that way. We're a big physical team, and you don't want to stop us from doing that at all, because when we do play that way and we can get away with it without being penalized, then it shows that we can dominate. And it's hard to tell people to stop doing that,
Oh, and I'm not saying that at all. I just know that sometimes I think there was a misconduct the other night for maybe saying something to a referee, the physical stuff.
Yeah.
I think Corey's even said it. If you get a penalty for being physical, we're going to have to eat that, because that's how we're built. That's how Corey wants to play. That's how Mike Sarant is helping you guys in practice. But maybe it's more the frustration and the sort of the final chirp, trying to get the final word in with someone that's not going to change their mind. Maybe that's got to be the message, perhaps.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that definitely, it speaks for itself. When things aren't going our way in the calls category, and then we start being vocal towards the referees, it's never going to be going our way. So it never works out in your favor. So yeah, that's something that we can control, and I think we've learned our lesson by now.
Chasing down Tate. Tate got the puck away to Glover. Glover gave it away to Hurd. Hurd now to Sideroff. Sideroff with a chance. Sideroff scores! Scores!
You look at your performance, and you are exactly what Corey said. He was so excited to get your signature on a contract. I mean, 15 goals in the league, another 8 in the cup. So you look at it, 23 goals overall. You certainly are feeling good, I think, in both the league and the cup personally. But I know that you're more worried about team success than personal success. But talk about the personal success. You've adjusted to life in the EIHL, and you've certainly been able to find the range as far as goal scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got to compliment my teammates on that for my goals that I have right now, because I think Hurdo's assisted almost over half of them or more. So it's fun playing with the group that we have right now, and our lineup has been consistent. So, I mean, I got to give all credit to the group of guys we have right now, and it's making me elevate my game and want to play for the team and want to play the right way for our coach and do the right things. So it goes hand in hand, and I know the result is positive.
Spoken like a true captain. I don't think I've ever spoke to a captain that goes, yeah, no, I've been playing great. It's always the line mates. Yeah. And certainly you're right. Hurdy loves to dish the puck. That's certainly the way he plays physical, of course, but it's been a good matchup. Let's talk about some of the new guys. I mean, Chris Martinet came in, and one of the edicts there for him was to sort of stabilize the penalty kill. I think we went from 6th or 7th in the penalty kill up to 4th or 5th when he came on the scene. Unfortunately for Marty, he got a little bit sick there, that norovirus or whatever was going around. Yeah, so he missed a few games, and I think we've gone down to like 78.9% or something in the PK. But he's certainly, with that long body and that long stick, has been a real nice addition when he's in the lineup and healthy on the PK.
Yeah, he is for sure. He's a great guy to have around the locker room too. He's doing his job. He came in here to do exactly what you said, be great on the PK, do a good first pass, and be physical. And when new guys come in, it takes a little while to get going, and he's come around and he's doing what we brought him in to do.
And Matt Barry, I think I spoke to him at the OSC event the other night. I think he's a little bit frustrated that he's only had the goal or whatever, but like he's working his way into the lineup. He hadn't played. I mean, he was someone that Corey really liked his game. He certainly seems to be finding the fitness and maybe working his way up the lineup. Just to talk about Matt Barry and how he's kind of fit in and trying to find his way as well.
Yeah, Matt Barry is one of the guys exactly like I am as well. Like somebody that's physical every night, and he has a knack for the net. He wants to score. He wants to compete, and exactly like I said about Marty too, right? So it comes into the season. It's hard to start with a new group of guys, but as things get going, you can see in practice and in games that he's coming around to be exactly what we need.
Be a nice addition, as we say now. We certainly focus full-heartedly on a better position in the table heading into the playoffs. So hopefully he'll be crucial in that. You mentioned practice there, or training, as they say in the UK. Practice this week, certainly, I'm sure, has got a different feel after the loss in Nottingham and perhaps after the loss in Dundee. How do Corey and Mike sort of settle things down and go, okay, we're not happy with that, but like, again, there's still lots of room here. We've got to be better. And so what's the message been? I mean, I know you can't give away too many industry secrets, but has it been a positive sort of let's calm down message?
Yeah, I mean, Mike and Corey, they do a great job of continuing to focus on what we have been focusing all year, the same systems. We don't believe that anything about our systems or the way we play is failing us. There's something that fails us every single game, and it's different. But when it comes down to it, when we play well and we play hard and we do play our way that we draw out and we prepare, then it shows that we can dominate. And so we're just sticking to that. But this coming week here, we have been training harder. We have more focus. We have more concentration and practice. And we know that these two games coming up are statement games, and we need these points. Every game matters.
Just played Sheffield at home a few weeks ago there. It feels like they're right back in, and certainly that was a really good game. Matt Greenfield stood on his head, but we all know what Matt Greenfield is from last year when he was perhaps the best player in the league when they won the treble. So I guess learning can be made from that game. Maybe traffic in front, it's not as always easy as that, but with the likes of Tansy and that on the back end. But certainly a really good game and a team that we seem to match up well. We went in there and beat them 2-1 in Utilita Arena. So probably an exciting game. Like, I know when you lose a game like that and the frustration and calls and all that in Dundee, you almost want to play the next day, don't you? You want to go out and right the wrong.
Sure.
So you've had a little time to stew in it. You've had a little time to practice, but probably a really good matchup is to go in against one of the teams that are considered one of the best teams in the league, in the Sheffield Steelers, and get right back in there. And like you said, work your systems.
Yeah, like you said, I think we still have the fire from this past weekend after losing to Dundee there. We still have that fire in us going into these practices. And it's also nice that we played Sheffield not too long ago, so we still have some fresh videotape to watch and know what they're doing recently. So, yeah, it's a good matchup to have for us because we got fresh video. We know what they do. We know what we want to do, and we have this fire.
What's a day like? I mean, you come out of those sort of situations where you're not happy with the Dundee performance. It was going well through 40 minutes. I think we were up 2-0 in that game. But what's a day like when you come back? You get a day off because everyone needs a day off. Your body can only take so much. But what's that first day like? Obviously, there's video stuff, there's PK meetings, there's power play meetings. But just maybe take new fans and maybe fans who think that it's simple to fix these problems. What's a day like after a disappointing loss like that?
You know, when we all get back in that dressing room, see each other for the first time after a little day off, that we just kind of regroup. We watch all of our video for sure. We talk to each other about what we could have done better, what we need to do better. Everybody's in the dressing room talking to their neighbors, to their partners across the room, and we're figuring out what we need to do to move on this week. And the sooner that you can put something like that behind you and forget about the mistakes, or at least talk them over and figure out what you can do better the next time, then we can move on to the next week. And we've been preparing really well the last few days.
You do have to have a short memory, don't you? Whether it's a call that you thought was missed or a misconduct that you go, I wish I'd kept my mouth shut, or a save or a hit or a missed a post. You have to have a short memory, don't you? And I think fans are so passionate, and we're lucky with the Purple Army. We're lucky with the OSC. But you guys do have to kind of move on, right? You can't be reading social media. You can't be reading about mistakes. You got to go out and just make the next game better. So it's almost like Groundhog Day. You got to have a short memory, and it's probably a weird zone to live in at times as a professional athlete.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to look back on what you've done already, or if you did make a mistake, it's easy to look back on that and bring it all the way into the next weekend and playing that game. Like, if we bring anything into the next weekend about talking to the refs or yelling at the refs, and you have this knack against the refs or something, then it could happen again. So you got to kind of forget that stuff, put it in the past. And like I said, just keep focusing on what we have in front of us, and it's important to win these next few games.
Bars are in. Can this open goal chance come for the Clan? Schwartz inside, Mitchell Hurd. And it's a touch in. Deven Sideroff finishes the job for the Glasgow Clan.
I notice whether I'm doing the commentary or whether I'm like in Nottingham, not doing the commentary, but at the game, I notice you guys do prop each other up. And that's important too, right? Like, you guys do seem to have, I know every team says it, oh, it's a great room and we've gelled. But I mean, I've been around the Elite League for 20 years. You guys do really seem to genuinely try and prop each other up. If someone's having a bad game, he's certainly, getting the pat on the back. And I think it's important. Like, it can't be all doom and gloom after a couple of disappointing losses, because there's 22 games here and a lot of special things can happen, especially if you're in it together.
Yeah, that's important for people in the dressing room to count. Pick people up. Sorry, and that's a great thing that we have in our dressing room. Everybody has such their own personality that we bring each other around, pump each other up, make a joke if somebody's down, bring somebody else into the joke. I mean, like I said, it's easy to remember the things that you did in the past, but it's also easy to, when you have a teammate beside you that can make a joke and move past it with you.
And it's good that you could do that, but I also have noticed that there's accountability. I'm sure you guys say, okay, you've missed that, we've got to get that going there, and that's your man or whatever. So it's important with this much runway to go that everyone's on the same page. Is it fair to say everyone's on the same page and kind of looking forward and not looking back?
Yeah, I think so by now. It makes it easier when you hold each other accountable. If every single person can hold every single person accountable, then you can make jokes with each other too, or make fun of each other, because you can get over it, right? Because you've already screamed at each other in a serious situation. You can make a joke about it after. Yeah.
Power play's been good. Face-offs are good. There's a lot of intangibles there. We're getting over 30 shots a game. It almost feels like we need a couple of greasy goals to get back on track. And is that something you guys say, like it's coming? Let's just keep getting pucks towards the net. And it's like, fans say get traffic to the net. I can say it. I'm sure Corey could say it. Sometimes it's not easy against big guys like Kevin Tansey or wily veterans like Colton Saucerman. It's down to you guys kind of trying to find a couple of greasy goals. And it does feel to me like the floodgates would open after a couple of games where, a goal and 2 goals. It just feels like there's more goals there.
Yeah, and the greasy goals are fun to get. So, I mean, if it comes down to it, if you put your stick in a garbage can or whatever you have to do, you get a greasy one. Those are always the funnest ones, when you can get the whole bench pumped up if you score a greasy one. So, like, that will open the floodgates, and things will come. If we just keep working hard and doing what we're doing in practice, they're going to come.
And it's neat too. You go to the OSC event the other night, and just if there's someone who wasn't at the OSC event, I know you guys talked to fans in the lounge, outside on the away trips, outside the bus, or even just in the general vicinity. I'm sure you get stopped in the Brayhead Shopping Center trying to get a coffee. It is interesting because everyone is so passionate, I think, in the fan base, and everyone wants to get that first trophy. And so the cup maybe would have been something that we thought, okay, this is a real good opportunity, but there's still plenty of opportunities down the stretch here to make some noise. And do you appreciate that from the fans too? Because I think it's worse if the fans aren't pissed off, shall we say, because then when apathy sets in, it's like, it's fine, because I know I'm pissed off. I know ownership wants to win. I know you want to win. So it's important. I think we shouldn't always say, oh, it's bad that everyone is upset. People should be upset after a loss.
Yeah, 100%. You don't truly care if you're not pissed off about losing or what's been going on, just because you should care. Like, everybody should care. And I love the passion. We love the passion. Of course, you want passionate fans. They're showing up every night, and hopefully continue to show up every night and bring that passion, because that's what we're going to continue to do. We're not going to give up. They're not going to give up. It's good to have passionate fans, 100%.
Yeah, and passionate players in the room. I know how much, like, guys like yourself and Mitch Hurd, guys have played at high levels. I know how badly you guys want it. I know how badly everyone wants it, the returnees like Forbesy and Lacko. When you go to an OSC event, or when you talk to fans, I was privileged to talk to a few fans recently, and they're enjoying the game night. And once those wins start to come, it's already a special place. It'll be a much more special place. But you made a note there earlier about Matt Keats saying, look, he really enjoyed the city and he loved being there. I mean, his daughter was born there, and you're there with your partner and your dog, Shooter. How have you settled into being in Glasgow and finding your way around?
The city's been treating me really well ever since my wife and my dog got over here about a month after I landed. We've been loving it, and it's great to have them here. We enjoy it. The sun's back out again right now, so it's been good. And the people in Glasgow are great. Our fans are great, but just everybody in the whole city has been great. The restaurants are great. You can't say enough about the people of Glasgow, though. They're all nice people. Yeah.
And Shooter is settled in. I'm delighted that Shooter's settled in.
Yeah, it's great to have my little dog here too. Yeah.
You are in big trouble because ever since the whole debacle with your dog having to stay in Dublin for a couple of weeks, my son wants a dog. So that's on you. That's on you and your wife. So
yeah. Hey, no, it's a good thing. You got to get one.
Oh, look, it's probably on the cards. But I just told him Santa doesn't do that. A dog is for life, not just for Christmas. So we've got to find the right opportunity. Maybe if you need a babysitter, we can take care of Shooter or something like that.
That could work out.
Just a message to the Purple Army as we get ready for what we hope is a great 22 or 20 plus games here down the stretch, and hopefully, I know one of the things you really wanted to accomplish was to see the playoff final weekend, that Final Four, and 8,000 people in Nottingham. So, is there a message to the Purple Army? And again, let's be positive. I know the last week has been disappointing. I know the last probably couple of weeks have been disappointing, but there's probably more to be positive about if we can get it going down the stretch here. So, is there a message for your faithful fans?
Yeah, look, we have a great group of guys on this team. Every single day we're practicing hard. We're going to compete every day. We're going to compete in these games. We know that it's important to win every single game from here on out. Every point's important. So every game is a playoff game from here on out for us. And the most exciting thing is to go into that playoff weekend and hopefully come out of it with a cup. And that's something that we can accomplish here.
Sid, thanks for taking the time to join us. I look forward to catching up with you ahead of the Sheffield game. Sheffield and Manchester this weekend. Go to clanihc.com if you want information on that. And all the best. Enjoy that strange bright orb in the sky.
Right. Yeah.
And thanks for taking the time, Sid.
Thank you.